One, first things first, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Machakwadash. Say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bahashim Machakwadash. And we give double honor to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahbashim Yahushai. 2023, which is the hopeful year that Yahbashim Yahushai fulfills all the promises. Let's jump into this. The title of this video is going to be called The Elect Components. Okay, the elect components. And the the spirit of Yahbashim Yahshua brought this lesson to me through my job, because that's why it says men's goings of the Lord. So everything you do in life, especially if you have your knowledge, wisdom in Yahbashim Yahshua, you got to look for every moving thing that you do. It has to and you have to filter through the scripture, even your own personal life, and I didn't know at first. I thought I was just, going through getting a job, happy you got a job and working, slaving to pay for Esau's bills. But as I was working the job, the spirit was like, pay attention, pay attention, because it even says Yahweh Shah spoke in parables. Parables are relating something in the outer world to the spiritual world, and that's why he said he's going to speak to them in parables, and even the disciples said, why do you speak to these people this way? Why don't you say it plainly? And he said, it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. All right, so the same thing that's happening now, Yahweh Shai hasn't changed, and he said he's going to be with us until the ends of the earth. So my new current job, I've actually had a job, but they switched me to another position. So now I'm doing making cores. I'm making these cores. I'm showing you examples of them here. They go in like big trucks, like combine equipment and different things like that. But the main thing is these cores right here. I'm gonna get into it. They're a part of a cooling system. So let's pull up here so you can see what they actually do. So the cores are part of a system. Okay. And why I say this, why I call this lesson the elect components, because it takes components to build a core, but it's a part of an important system. Okay. And what's that system? What's the elect a part of? Is the kingdom of heaven to come. Okay. So you see the front part of it is the core right here. You can see a better component system of it right here. So the front part of it, as you see right here, that's the core. Okay, and it's spiritual. It's called the core. Okay, so that means it cools the whole engine. So if it's not, that core is not there, your engine's gonna overheat. So the elect is likened unto that component. It's that mechanism that's gonna cool the rest of the nation. All right, but let's go and let's see here. Okay, so let's go back to this. So this right here is to show you what pretty much a core is. Okay, it's plates, and then it's got rods in between those plates that help the coolant go through those plates to cool the engine. Okay, and why this lesson came to my spirit is that I was because I'm in training, and the guy that's training me, he started saying things, and he didn't know what he was saying, but the spirit picked up on it. He said that in this, every rod has to be perfect. Okay, it can't have a bend. It can't have a bend in it. It can't have a blemish in it. It can't have a scar. It can't have a gash. Every rod has to be perfect. And when he said it, I was like, damn. I was like, that's heavy. And then he kept going, and he told me as we put these things together, he said the first rod is the most important one of the whole core. Okay, this is a better picture of it. The first one you put in it has to be perfect. It has to line up, because that's what sets the tone for the whole entire core. And I was like, you already know what the spirit said, because it goes back to the cornerstone. Just like if you set a building, the chief cornerstone, the cornerstone has to be placed perfectly, because that sets the tone for the whole entire building. Okay, so the same thing with this core. And that's why, spiritual, that's when I knew I was where I was supposed to. The Lord brought me comfort in that, because it was like, I needed you to get this information. And that's why, Lord willing, I'm going to try to put it in this lesson the best way that I can. Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson, okay, and to show you the importance of why the elect must be perfect and blemish, without blemish, to hopefully that you try to, if we're hopeful elect, to try to be that and to try to search for that, because you're going to see a wider scale, because these cores play an important role in the whole cooling of an engine and the cooling, and then the elect plays an important part in the cooling of a nation. So if one of these rods are messed up, guess what? The core is going to be all bad. It's not going to be a good core. Okay. But the main part we're going to start with is that the first and the first rod has to be placed perfectly. Okay. The way that we place it is, I'm not going to get into the details of it. But it has to be placed absolutely perfect, man. Okay, and then it starts off the rest of the cores, which lines up everything, because it has to line up. So if you have a rod that's bent and perfect, that's not right, it's gonna throw the whole core off, and it's not gonna be a functional core. So that's why the Lord told us that the elect are blameless. Okay, so now let's start with Yahweh Shai. Now let's start with the word component. Okay, because that's what the name of the lesson is component. What is a component? A component is constitute part of it, part or element, right? One of a group of persons. See, earlier, one of a group of persons. So the elect, each member of the elect is a component into the machine that the Lord is building to form the 144,000 and the one third, which we know is the government body. Which now I'm giving you a metaphor to show as a core of the nation of Israel. They're gonna be the coolant system, if you want to say like that, to the whole nation. They play a very important role, if not the important role, because Yahweh Shai is the first placement of that new of the elect. He's the firstborn of death. Okay, and it says one, and I won't forget Elder Yashawamba. He went into the lesson. He said that the elect is the elect will be without mother or father, going into the Melchizedek. Which was heavy. That was heavy as hell, man, and I'll never forget it. So back to the point of the elect being components. It says one of a group of persons. From Latin compontem, it says component, to put together, to collect a whole from several parts. So what the Lord is doing, he's collecting a whole from several parts of men. Each of these men are going to make up a whole object, which is the 144,000 and one third, which is the elect government body. But each of the elect will be a component into that machine, if you want to say like that. It's not a machine, but we're gonna like it unto a machine. Okay, just like a core, just like we have this. Okay, when you see this object here, it's a component. It's a compository. That's where you get compository also, of different elements that make up this one element right here, to make up this one core. Okay, so that's what the elect are likened unto. But the point of this is that the elect, the components to make this object have to be flawless. They have to be perfect. There has to be no skirmishes in this, any of these components, from the fins, from the rails, from the rods. Nothing can have a blemish in it, or to throw the whole core off. That's why it's important to be perfect, and why you want to strive to be that elect. And we got to pray for it, because you want to be the elect. But if you're not perfect, you don't want to be a part of that, because you're gonna ruin the whole core. You're gonna ruin the whole system. But it's not gonna. The Lord ain't gonna allow it, because the Lord is only gonna grab the elect. Okay. And it says, let's read it again. To collect a whole from several parts, from come with together. See, pontoni, to place. So to place together, okay? To come together and place something. That's what a component is. That's what the elect is. The Lord is taking different things he's collecting them and then he's going to place them together. And when is that going to happen? When the deliverance happens, when the 144,000 are called up, they're going to be all perfect without blemish, and they're going to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be the first fruits that was chosen since the foundation of the earth, but they've been perfected through what? The Lord said, honorable men are tried through the furnace of adversity. So they were rough elements in the beginning. They were chosen, but they had to go through these things, just like Yahweh Shah said on the cross. It said, it is finished. What is finished? His walk, his perfection. Because when he came as Yahweh Shah, he was blameless and without blemish. So let's get that right now. That's a good segue point. Let's roll into it right now. It's the book of Ephesians. Now we're going to touch base on Yahweh Shai and how he was the first unblemished component in this thing to come. He's the foreshadowing of us. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We want to strive to be perfect. This lesson and this mindset let me know that you want to strive to be perfect. If you really love the kingdom to come, you're gonna want to be perfect. You're gonna want to strive to be that. So what? You can be chosen part of this machine, this royal machine that is getting ready to come to pass. Okay. And it says, it's Ephesians 2:27. It says that he might, Salakia, let's start at 26. And it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Okay. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It says that he might present it to himself a glorious church. So let's look into that word glorious. We're going to get to the points. The word there for glorious, it means what? Held in good or in great esteem. Just like I said, to make every component must be perfect. It has to be. That's what I was told. I'm not saying something that I just came out of nowhere. And the guy wasn't scriptural. He wasn't going into the scriptures, but he was saying it in the spirit. That shows you that the Lord makes things to accent what he already has set out there. And Barakatha Yahweh Bhakti Yahushai for allowing me to know this, because I didn't know what I was just going to a job. But then I heard this and I was like, oh shit, it makes so much sense. He was telling me this and he was making it a point, because they have to tell you this, because if you put something in there that's wrong and you put something in there that has a blemish in it, you're going to fuck up the whole core and you're going to mess up money. You're going to mess up. They're saying it from a carnal sense, but I seen the spiritual aspect in it. Okay. So it says what? Great esteem, highly reputable, illustra, honorable, esteemed, notable, glorious. So every piece must be notable, glorious, splendid, of clothing. Okay. Let's read it now again. Now that we have that understanding, this is back in Ephesians 5 and verse 27. And it says that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot. See, now let's look up the word spot. The word there for spot is spilos. Okay. And it says spot, a fault. See, I didn't even look up this words. We going off the rip. We going freestyle, baby. Salakia. You know, we going free in the spirit. But it says a fault, moral blemish, or base or gluttonous men. But that, that goes into some, but the point you see in here is that without blemish, without spot. So to be a part of the components of the core, you cannot, none of the parts, none of them, not any of them can be blemished, or it won't work. It won't cool it won't cool the vehicle. It won't cool the combine. It won't cool the tractor trailer, because these things go into big things, man. Things that are hundreds of thousands of dollars, man. Okay. If you go into the workings of these things, go into big machinery. Okay. I'll show you an example that I'm talking about. If you look at tractor trailers, these are cores for tractor trailers. And these things are hundreds of thousands, hundreds of thousands. They're about let's say 50, 60, 70, 80, $90,000, depending on what vehicle you have. Okay, so the cores must be perfect. Okay. So when it says, let's go back into the blue letter. It says moral blemish. So the elect has to have a no moral blemish in them. They have to be blameless. Okay. So now let's read it again. It says that he might present himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle. And that's spiritual, because if it has a bend in it, if one of the rods have a bend in it, it can't go into the core right. And if it does go in there, it's gonna pinch off the fluid. Ergo, it's not gonna make it work. Okay, so the word there is horotes. Let's play it.
Strong's G 4512. Hrutis.
Okay,
Hrutis.
and it says what? A wrinkle. So that's why the elect cannot have a wrinkle, a blemish, nothing. Okay, because that's what the church must be. Because that's the church. The church is presented as the elect. Okay, that's why each of us are a hopeful elect that want to be a part of that church to come, the temple. And it says not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. Okay, blemish, without blemish, as a sacrifice without spot. So same thing with Yahushua when he was crucified. When he was that lamb, he was without blemish. He was without spot. He was the first rod to go into the core. And I go back to, is my training. The guy told me, he said the first one is the most important one. It has to be perfectly set. Same thing as a cornerstone. That's why the Lord gave us the analogy of a cornerstone. I'm the chief cornerstone. Okay. So that's why he's telling us now, and he was just telling that's just what I've learned. And I learned this I wasn't looking, I was just going to serve my plantation. That's why it says in everything, do it to the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because you never know what the Lord could be trying to give to you, even in you going to serve slavery. Okay, because I didn't know this was happening. Okay, give me one moment. Give me 1 second. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is giving us different goodies, even when it seems like he's not giving us goodies. It's hot out here today. Damn. Woo. It's a lot. Okay. And it says without blemish, unblameable. All right. So now let's get to the next precept. This is the book of 1 Peter's. Let's jump to 1 Peter's 2 and 22. This is 1 Peter's 2 and verse 22. It says, who did not sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Speaking of who? Yahushua. Let's go to verse 21. For even hereunto we are called, because Mashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example. What is an example? Something is going to, how you form yourself after. So just like Yahushua was blameless without spot, we have to be, if we want to be that components in this spiritual machine, okay, we have to be the same way, because that's the only way it's going to work. We can't have a blame soul come into this, because it's not going to make the whole thing work. Because just like this is a carnal machine, man. This is a carnal machine that the Lord gave Esau to make. And it runs machines like this, runs big old machines like this, big old awesome machines. So the same thing with this small component here. Some of them can be small, some of them can be big, but this right here is going to be able to run the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's why it's the elect body. A small thing is going to be able to run billions of Israelites, and because our children and our seeds, if we be a part of that elect, are going to be innumerable. Same thing, the blessings that came to Abraham, okay, down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we have to embody this and say, damn, we want to make that the perfect. It makes sense why the Lord wants it to be perfect. You see other people like, damn, man, we got to strive to be. No, you want to be perfect, because you see what comes out of that perfection, what comes out of that everything being in order. Same thing that I'm gonna hopefully do a lesson of being in one accord, but everything in this component must be perfect. So Yahushua was the first example of it. Okay, And it says, also suffered us, leaving us an example that we should follow in his steps. And how do you put this together? How do you put these together? You put them in step by step, one after the other. You can't rush it. You have to take a slow process. It's a slow process. So you have to, it's a time consuming process. The same thing with this kingdom of heaven. It's a time consuming process, man. You may seem like, oh, damn, it's taking a while. No, the Lord is working on a great component. He's working on a great spiritual machine that is going to run the universe, because we're going to be able to, he said he's going to plant the heavens with us, man. So this is not just going to be on earth. It's going to be something that's going to resonate through all of creation, is the elect. Okay. The perfected elect. Oh, damn. That's the name of a sit down. The perfected elect. Okay. And it says, I'm going to read this. And it says, who did not sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself. He said he committed himself to him that judgeth righteously, who his own self bare our sins in his own body on a tree, that we should be dead to sin, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes we were healed. Okay. So you seeing that the Lord is perfecting this machine, this spiritual machine, through the elect, man. This is the book of Isaiah 53 and verse 9. This is Isaiah 53 and verse 9. And it says, and he made his grave with wicked and with the rich, and with the rich in his death, because he had not done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Okay. So the same thing you see, that Yahushua set the tone for the elect. Now we're going to see how that is mirrored today. Okay. And it says, for as much a high priest became us, Zalakia, for as much, read it again. It says, for as much an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than, it says in Salakia, it says, and made separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens. See, because Yahushua, when he did that sacrifice, he brought us back into the Heavenly Father. He brought us back into repentance. That's why you see all the things that you see happening today is from the sacrifice of Yahushua, man. It's not from anybody's so-called mentality. That's why these guys that don't want to praise the Lord's name, they don't want to give glory and honor unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're not, come on, man, because you're not giving the credence. That's where you have to give credence, man. Just like if you graduate from a so-called college, you have to give that, they put the name on the diploma. Where did you get the diploma from? You got it from UCLA. You got it from Harvard. You got it from Cambridge. You got it from a higher end learning. So if those things can have a name and a credit, it's called accreditation. You're accredited. So it's just like you're giving the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua the credit, man. We didn't get this truth on our own, because then you glorifying yourself, man. And the Lord said he will not give his honor to nothing else. So you taking that on your name to say that, oh, the Most High Christ blessed, because you saying you coming out of Christianity, but at the same time, you don't want to give credence to who gave you the truth. So you giving glory unto yourself, man. Because if you say you ain't in the church, you're not a part of the so-called church in the way that it does, but then turn around, you don't want to give credence to the Lord that gave you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then who they going to give it to? They're going to give it to you and your organization, man. See? That's why it's a fearful thing what these guys are doing, man. But we're gonna keep on pace. This is the book of Revelations 14 and verse 5. Check this out. Revelations 14 and verse 5, and it says, and let's start at 4. Hey, Revelation 1:4. Revelations 14 and 4. These are it says, these are they which are not defiled with women, blameless, components. These are the elect of the components, and we seeing that in this verse here. It says, which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of Yahweh and to the Lamb. So the elect is the first fruits. They're the ones that's going to be put into this spiritual machine that's going to power the nation of Israel and ergo the world and the universe, man. So it starts just like you see here, just like you see a component. When I say a cooling system starts from the coolant. It starts from the core, and it goes to the rest of the engine. It goes to the rest of the engine, and it powers the engine, just like here. So all of this stuff back here, all of the pistons, the oil, the drivetrain, the transmission, all of those things, if they don't have a good core, the whole engine is going to overheat and it's going to break down. Just like you see now in the planet Earth with sin ruling. It's over the earth is overheating, man, with sin. It's too much wickedness. So that's why the elect is going to play that core to cool the planet Earth, to cool, because it says that we're going to judge according to the law, statutes, and commandments. If you go off, guess what? You're going to be judged. If you go this way, that way, according to the law, statutes, and commandments, you will be judged, man. Okay, that we're gonna play in the elect will play an important role in keeping order. This engine is decently and in order. That's in order, even though Esau is a carnal man, but the Lord gave him the knowledge and wisdom to build things like this. Everything must be done decently and in order. So the Lord is building he's building the vehicle of the kingdom of heaven to come. He's the ultimate mechanic. Yahweh is the mechanic on high. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is the mechanic on high. Look at this. See? Look how the core works. Goes through here. Look at the arrows. And then it cools the whole engine. Everything must be done decently and in order, man. Okay? So that's why you want to strive to be perfect. You want to strive to be to the best of your ability and praise the elect. Because the Lord knows the components that he's getting ready to put in here. And just like I have to throw away rods that bend, that don't fit the specific roles. They were in a bunch. I grab a whole bunch of them. I put them on the table and I assess each rod to see which one is worthy enough to get into the core. And I have to watch that. If I pick a wrong rod and I put it in there, guess what? The component ain't going to work. The whole machine ain't going to work. So that's why it's important. I don't have any guile towards that rod. I don't hate that rod, but guess what? The rod's not perfect enough. The rod isn't up to specs. So that's why I can't go where in the core, man. And it's up to me it's spiritual. It's up to me to look at that, man. So the Lord has me doing this for hours, and I contemplated on this lesson, man. And I was like, this is a beautiful lesson, man. Okay. Back in Revelations, this is Revelations 14 and verse 5. Again, it says, let's start at 4. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins, which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, following him in their footsteps. Just like I just read, it says, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of Yahweh and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. So they're able to go in there because they have no fault, no blemish. They're able to be components in the machine, the spiritual machine that's being built, man. Okay? So that's the mentality we should have, and we shouldn't feel a type of way. All we should do is say, the Lord knows what he's doing, and if he chooses us, he chooses us, and we're worthy of that. But we're going to play a very important role. The elect will play a very important role. And this is what Yahushua said. This is John 1 and 47. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him and said to him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. So he would have to be elect. He come back in the reincarnation, and he'll be one of the elect, man. Okay? So keep that in mind. I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Just in the spirit, and Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. I praise Yahweh Shai that brothers take this and internalize it and see the importance of the elect and how it is important to be without guile and without blemish. and to push forth that vibration of bless the elect, because they're gonna play a very important part in the working of the universe to come, man. Okay, and you can see right here how it goes through the coolant, goes through the whole engine, and then it cools it and it keeps it sustained. And you know, engines can last for a long time, you know, and you can make certain engines to last for damn near forever. It with clean energy, but you do need those components still. Okay, so Lord willing, it's edifying lesson. I'm gonna leave it there. With that, I say call Holoim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak. Till the next time I say Shalom, and more than I never keep faith. And we almost there. Shalom.